just a smash-a-thon. It was always good to watch. That's a big thing at Redcliffe and Wynnum. They pride themselves on their defence, and it used to be guaranteed that blokes were getting cut in half, so it was good viewing. I had that healthy respect, but when you played them, bugger them. Let's rip heads off. That's what it was like. There's none of this, say, holding blokes up and cuddle them to the ground. It's like, I'm going to cut him in half. There's none of this worrying about the speed of the play of the ball. I'm just going to bash blokes. And they were the same. They had some real good defensive sides there. When you break it down, and when I played rep games with guys from Wynnum, they're like, well, they're just like us. But we used to hate them. On the other end of in the crap part of town, this is the best place, blah, blah, blah. Pretty troll back then. Our pig pen and their chook pen are very, very vocal. And it's hard not to laugh at some of the stuff they used to say. Something to do with questioning your parentage, how many heads you had, things like that. I don't think there was ever an easy game between us. There's never any blowout scores. You always come off going, geez, we earned that, or, sorry. The recovery ward was usually full. Come Tuesday night, and you just hobble through a few training sessions, but that's what you play for, those real tough games, and test yourself and find out where you can go physically, mentally. And there's always that. I don't remember too many games that went down to the wire in the last 10 minutes. It was pretty close. It's always good fun. Walking out here in front of your own people, it's our house. We don't give anyone anything here. They've got to earn it, It's never take no prisoners down here at Redcliffe in particular.
The easiest way to sum it up, we hate Redcliffe, and they probably feel the same way about us. When you put that Wynnum jersey on, it was like, if there's red and white in front of you, you hate those guys for the next 80 minutes. Whether we're playing there or they're coming here, there's always, a packed crowd, and I guess they were always the benchmark for such a long period of time. They had a lot of great players in our era, or in my early days. So for us, it was always a big build-up, and then when we got out there, generally a fair few fireworks, pretty intense in those first exchanges, and then throughout the match, there's always a fair bit of niggle, and it got pretty heated at times. The 2012 Grand Final, the collisions and the contact, I remember still speaking to Isaac Armau, and I think Mitchell Dodds broke his ribs in the first half, and there was a fair few injuries that game. It was quite an intense game. We played at a pretty frantic pace and very physical contest. So I think it was just a bit of attrition that we sort of wore them down. They made a few errors, and like I said, we sort of capitalised on that and took advantage. We don't get on at the best of times, and it generally brings the best out in both clubs as well, which is the most important thing. Is that a lot of those games you look over the years have been tight contests, and really fantastic games of footy to watch. So hopefully that tradition continues, and that rivalry continues as well.
Very vicious. Obviously being a North Queensland team and then being a North Queensland team, it's sort of that battle of the North, we call it. Obviously there's Mackay there as well, but us and Cairns sort of have that real hatred for each other, and whenever we take the field, it's a real battle. It's a real 80-minute game, and Ty gets his team up and Painey gets our team up, and we call it the battle of the North, and who can take the North Championship. When we play at their home ground, it's very vicious, and when they come to our home ground, it's very vicious and very vocal. So I think it's just about Towns being very proud and trying to put their best foot forward and trying to promote what they do well in their town. The crowd are very, very, very big. At Cairns, you can't really hear anything. I think at Barlow Park there, all you can hear is stuff Townsville and go Cairns, and it's vice versa at our grounds. Our crowd are very vocal, and our crowd get behind us. We have a great support network at our crowd, and I don't see many blue jerseys at Townsville games, and I don't see many Townsville Blackhawks jerseys at their games. So it's good, and it's good for the game, and it's good for a rivalry round.
Every time we play them, just seems to be a close game, and yet there's always a lot of feeling in it. The forwards are coming from the back fence. I think it's due to a lot of players have actually played together at some point in their career. So even this year, myself and Jaden Hodges, the old captain of the Pride last year, hopefully going to go out there and prove a little point. Moving up to Cairns, I definitely felt that Townsville people definitely resented Cairns and vice versa. Cairns people definitely resented Townsville. So I think that's bred into them at a young age. Try and keep it as cool as possible, but everyone knows that it's probably going to be the biggest game of the season.